Last time we played, we had dealt with the aftermath. That was it. Yes, the party had just vanquished some large insectoids and had identified these creatures as Ankeg, which are large beetle-like insects, ambush predators, normally not in large populations, though sometimes they might form a small den of larger numbers. And the party had learned a few things, like their armor could be, their chitin could be used to make plate armor instead of using steel, or any other metal you might use. And then one of the big things that was found was that the creatures do not normally attack large populations. They are intelligent enough normally to avoid human populous centers. So an attack in the middle of a town seems a little unnatural. The party was also paraded and appraised and had affixed themselves a possible party name. It could be temporary or it could be long lasting, but those who were there last time had decided to declare themselves, and correct me if I'm wrong, it was the Marked Warriors, right?
Yes.
They were paraded. Some people were a little skeptical, though. Some thought it was a temporary thing and weren't as excited about heroes. You know, you always end up with your stragglers. But it is believed that you'll likely be able to get an audience with the Grand Banker of Boulder Dawn within a day or two or so. So the party rested, so reset HP and spell slots back to maximum for those who are not present to do so. Recovered, ready, and on the next day took care of a little business. You've got a day probably to do whatever you please. There was a little pointing toward maybe investigating the pit, which is at the center of the pit district of Boulder Dawn, where you fought those bugs, which is believed to be where they came from. A 40-foot fall or drop hole into the ground that seems to lead into who knows where. Nobody's really bothered, it seems, to investigate.
Didn't we visit the pit last time?
You visited the pit, you looked down into it, but you did not venture down to the bottom. And from a top-down angle, you can't see much at the bottom. But yes, you did visit the pit.
Pit of death.
You had found some evidence that the pit had been probably had its edge broken open at the side and such, but decided not to try to venture down until you had more players. I mean, more of your party was ready to do so. So, I believe the party left off kind of midday-ish with a full rest of a day to do what they please. Spread rumors, listen for rumors, investigate a pitch, look for another job while you wait for an audience with this Duke of Boulder, not Duke, the Grand Banker. The Duke Mayor is out of town.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and you were asked by the aristocrat to pull him in on the meeting with the the Grand Banker when it came time, because he assumed they'll probably send people to speak to you guys, not to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
As long as we have torches, let's go explore the pit.
Yeah. That was kind of my thoughts. I thought we had already like ended with us basically staring at the pit.
all right. Okay, let me gather up your tokens. You know, I'm so glad I'm not I'm realizing we've had a few close calls, but it's never been really too bad with the whole information on the program potentially getting lost. We had that one instance, but I managed to save it. I'm still glad we're not relying on in-program character sheets, because I just grab tokens from wherever, and many of these tokens are probably not up to date. I should just delete the tokens at the end of the session or return them back to the start screen and just do something like that, but I don't know how any of this works, so. Actually, if you wouldn't mind, I'm actually going to try something. I'm going to check something. Toaster, I'm going to put a little something on your character's stat block in the program, so it probably won't matter much. Would you mind telling me? Actually, that's easy. I can just change your level to level 4, right? Boom. What's your current maximum HP?
My current max is 30.
30. Okay, if I put that on this token, boom. And let me go ahead and check your other token. It's mostly for my sakes. I'm just checking.
Are we on a different map?
Oh, all the
still
tokens update each other. Okay, so as long as the main original tokens don't get messed with. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, my thing says HP 30, AC 11 now. So.
Sweet. Okay, so as long as I don't delete your original character token on the start, the top row ones, I think the information will just get shared between all of them. I think they all link back to that main one, which acts as like a storage hub for the information.
Cool.
So.
My hit points is not 20.
I can change that for you if you want.
It's 25.
Or you can change it yourself, but here, what is it?
It's 25.
25. If I update it here, boom, check your your character sheet in program. Has it changed?
Nope. Give me a sec, sorry. I clicked on the wrong thing. Clicked on notebooks instead of stat block. There we go. Yes, it changed.
Okay. I entered some of your character's information, but not a lot, since I don't have access to your character sheets, which, of course, was kind of done on purpose. I don't want to rely on the program. Although, to be fair, this program has actually been more consistent in its security than Foundry was, which makes me sad because Foundries should be better at that. Anyway. We are at the pit. This, oh, right. Let's go ahead and fix your concentration state. You are probably not concentrating on something anymore, Imran. So, let me just make sure everybody's on the right map.
Hello.
Just found the thought bubble.
Thinking. Thinking.
I kind of almost want to do pointer checks at the start just to help you guys. You're like, oh yeah, we can do that. I'm sorry. Okay, that pointer's moving around so much I can't. Hey, yep. Okay, and if I do this, all right.
It's his glorious face. Oh my goodness.
All right. So yes,
Alright.
you're regathered at the pit. You have most of the day still going. The stalls around it are kind of broken and battered. It looks like people had set up their set up little businesses basically to sell goods around the pit as kind of like a central spot. But there is nobody doing business right now.
Boom.
Probably because yesterday kind of left everybody scared to approach the darn pit. You know, when 3 large insects climbed out of it and started attacking people.
Well, let's become 4 giant insects going into the hole. Except we're not insects. I could transform into an insect. I just wouldn't be giant though.
You know, not technically.
It'd be very unhelpful.
I gotta double check that. I'm sorry. Giant ant. Do they have a giant ant stat block? I don't think they do. I don't think they do bugs. Where's all my big bugs in 5th edition? Okay. Well, big bugs would technically... Huh?
Is there a giant wasp?
There is. Yeah, they consider them beasts. So yes, you would be able to.
Woo woo!
Except that it's flying, so.
Oh yes, it is a flying creature, so you'll need a few more levels before you can actually do that.
Oh, I could turn into it, but I'd only crawl around.
You could turn into a beetle.
Oh my gosh! Stop texting.
Although I miss the days when there was its own category of vermin. It's just a funny thought. They get their own category, vermin.
Stupid customers.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry.
Are you getting harassed at home now?
No, I'm just.
Are they calling you?
No, we had a customer today who said that she was a gold vendor and she wasn't. Her friend was. She wasn't even in our system. So we've now got to go and try to figure out how to call her and tell her to pick up her stuff today, or it's gonna be donated. Because she's not a gold vendor. She lied. A lying liar.
Lying little.
Yep.
You know, that's my favorite button on this dash. I can swear without swearing.
Woo! It's implied swearing.
You'll never know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I hold all the.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All of them.
So
You should.
now
probably
here comes
Yeah.
the interesting first question. The pit does not have a walkway or any method designed to climb down into it. So,
Hi.
good luck. What do you do?
What I can do.
This is the part where you get to squabble around like chickens with your heads cut off. Lovely.
Well, I know I can get down. I just want to see if I can't figure out how to get everyone else down.
I mean, I can get down too, but I have the same problem.
If Bird could get down, I could.
I think I can get down.
Does anyone have a rope?
Yeah.
I do.
I have rope too. We could tie the rope to the rope to the rope and make a longer rope.
And then we won't lose our rope.
Yeah, let's just not take into account the dynamics of how the more ropes you tie together, the worse they are at keeping you from breaking the rope.
Not unless you do the tie correctly.
No.
Yeah. Let's wait. What are we gonna tie the rope to, though?
A tent?
Just gonna pop off.
What? Sorry, I was chewing. I caught a sneeze, but I'm not sure if there was something said in the sneeze.
Would there be something said in the sneeze?
I don't know. It's my brother. I always have to question these things.
I didn't say anything. I didn't sneeze.
Sorry. That was out of character.
I know.
That was great.
Just
Lily's sitting there chewing on something. Sorry, what was that?
what?
I heard you sneeze. I thought you said something in between it.
Sure. What? So, we have a rope, or we don't have a rope?
We have lots of ropes. Should
Considering-
I don't have any rope, so
Considering... What? Really?
yeah, no rope.
I was about to say, considering that only one player did buy equipment, I would assume you all have ropes, since it's usually a default in an adventurer's kit.
Nope.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
If none of you had rope, I assume somebody does. This is the part where the
I-
DM punishes you for not having rope.
I think
I
Zilrose had
am pretty
rope.
darn sure I have rope.
I do.
Alright.
I check.
Alright.
Lorku doesn't, but why would he have rope?
Yes, I
Fair
have
enough.
50 feet of rope.
Yeah,
Me too.
50 feet.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. I remember hearing somebody say, always have rope. D&D, Pathfinder, doesn't matter. If you're playing a fantasy tabletop game, always have rope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Where do I find
Floriku, you wouldn't perhaps mind checking out the hole there and seeing how deep. I don't know. Do we already know how deep it is?
Because of dark vision, you were able to estimate it somewhere from 30 to 40 feet. Shorter than 60, because they could see to the bottom in grays. But the light cuts out
Okay.
at a point where they can't really tell details at the bottom.
Yeah, that's probably better than I could do very easy because I don't have dark vision.
So wait. Just to be clear, do we or do we not have rope?
We do. Yes.
have rope?
Okay.
It is a worthwhile question, and we've been...
Okay. How do we? Can we just let's just tie it to like a stand or something? If we go down one at a time, it shouldn't drop us.
Right? Hopefully not. Sorry. Trying to find stuff on D&D Beyond, and I'm having a hard time. Why? Why am I having such a hard time with this? Monsters! That's what I'm looking for! Goodness gracious. You'd think that I'm blind or something. Okay.
So Josh, looking around, at least one of these stands looks reasonably heavy, right? Or at least like sunken into the ground.
That's the thing. They are merchant's carts.
Were they left like in a panic, or were they like?
Some of them look like they were actually damaged. In the leave.
Are there
And have-
items still there?
Most of them seem to have been catering food.
Oh,
So bags of grain and stuff, which much of has either been taken by thieves or been obtained. You do remember there was talk of thieves in these parts. It was
Yes.
one of the jobs you were capable of having, so it's likely most of the merchants came back and collected their stuff and just aren't coming back for their stalls. A cart themselves are all seemingly made of wood.
And I suppose I wasn't here last time. We got a long rest since we fought these things, right?
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
no?
Yes, we
Okay.
did.
Neato.
How heavy would that be? An average. Well, these ones would have been probably set up. These would have been set up to be stationary, but disassemblable. So it might be able to hold up the weight of some of the lighter members of the party. But it might have a bit of difficulty with people who are a little bit more on the 250 kind of pound, 200s, 250 poundish weight area. You know, the healthy weights.
You know what?
Behold, I'm making having character weight a valuable thing to know.
Yeah. You know, I don't think you can hold me that well though.
Question.
Yeah.
So with wild shape, I know I can't have a flying speed, but can I have a climbing speed? Is that available at my
Fifth
level?
edition has no rules or restrictions on climbing speed, so I will assume you can. It only
Okay.
puts a limitation on swim and fly.
really? I have a spell that has a limitation in climbing speed.
Okay.
Let me check the class. Because she's specifically calling out the druid's wild shape feature.
Okay, because I have spider climb, which says that my climbing speed is equal to my walking speed.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to find an animal that I can transform into and have someone basically right on top of me to get down.
Yeah, there's no rules on a burrowing or climbing speed. You could have either of those.
Okay.
The only limitations are swimming or flying.
So I don't.
I just don't know how big these animals are because like for giant lizard, it has a climbing speed and it's considered as a large beast, but I don't know how large the large beast would be considered. If that would be like able to be ridden.
Any creature that is of a size category larger than you can be ridden.
Dude, I am so stupid.
And with a
Underneath,
strength score
in the
high enough.
In the description, underneath giant lizard, It literally says a giant lizard can be ridden or used as a draft animal. I am blind.
Yeah, they've got a
No.
strength of 15. Yeah, they could totally carry your weight.
That is so stupid. Why did I not see that earlier?
So how many of us actually need like a way down? Like,
I mean,
Bigger question is a way back up, I will say.
hold on.
that's true.
Because we could all get down. Pretty sure, no problem. Other than
That's
maybe
that
Dennis.
is
I don't know how he would get down anyway. And he's not here this session, so we're not going to bother.
True.
Because if we theoretically needed to, my spells, I do have Featherfall, which I'm pretty sure works. If I remember it.
That would work getting down.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the giant lizard form, you could carry 450 pounds just fine. You could probably lift any member of the party, save maybe the centaur.
Yeah.
How many of us are there?
Ride me. I'm sorry. I had to say it.
What if we tied the rope around here and then tied a knot here to have the rope go down?
That could work.
Does anyone have any climbing gear?
I am climbing.
Do any of you have pittons?
That is the question.
Kittens?
Emotion. Inventory.
Kitten?
Mm-hmm. You could just pin one of those to the ground and use it as your anchor.
Let's
At
see
that
what-
point, you're using the weight of the world.
I have rope. That's about it.
I can go run into like towns literally.
You're
right
literally in
around
a
this.
town. If you don't have
Yeah, I
something,
can
you could go
try-
buy
I
it.
can just
You just go buy it.
yeah. Everyone's just gonna go run off and get a piton or get some piton or pittons, however you pronounce it.
I don't know.
You
I just say
can
pitten.
Ride me.
Kitten.
We can just
Go get a kitten. Have it sit there.
we can just circumvent this whole thing and you can all ride on top of me.
Fair thing to bring up, Lily. You remember? I'm not. I'm gonna go get a piton.
Okay, but what do I remember? What do I remember? What am I supposed to remember?
I'll talk to you later. And Imran is going to go run off.
He's running away again.
All right.
What does he always
Um,
run away?
You could probably buy them from the I think I've mentioned him before. There is a guy here in the area called the Fletcher who might have survivalist gear, but a surefire option would be to go to the guy who works metal in town.
That was my original idea. Yeah,
All right.
Your
Um,
fire option would be
I'll
to
just go
ride
there.
me.
grab ask him for a couple, and then
Alright.
come back.
He is going to charge you on a slight up. It's a silver rather
Yeah.
than the average 5, but that's... Well, no. You guys helped him, and the Grand Banker is still supplying, so he can actually go with the average prices. 5 copper. Easy. It's a
Dang it,
rod
I
of
only-
it's a rod of
Alright,
steel. Not a lot of work.
I'll give him a silver so I don't have to worry about coin conversion.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Okay.
Alright.
And how many are you gonna get? Oh,
It's 5 copper per?
per. They're a fourth of a pound.
Yeah, okay. Sure. I'll get 4.
All right.
So 2 silver worth.
Okay. Alright, so now you have 4 pittons you can use for many things. It's a very useful tool to have.
Just be a lizard.
It's great for pinning down your camp, tents,
Enemies.
and for climbing. This is totally the blacksmith saying this as you're going out with his supply.
Yeah, thank you. I'll keep that in mind. Sorry, I'm in a bit of a hurry.
Alright. Rushing, you can make it back within less than a few minutes, so you return with a few rods of steel.
Pittons.
Pittons!
And then I will actually Imran's not strong. Does someone want to smash this into someone who's not me want to smash this into the ground?
No.
No.
Yes.
Please.
Mm.
I don't know why I'm being hyper focused on that. Anyway. Hmm. Am I waiting on something?
A little bit. Sorry. Give me a minute.
So did someone want to smash this into the ground?
I can.
All
right.
But where do you want me to do it?
Next to the hole, I guess.
Got it.
Wait, is Loriku gonna shove it in, or is so? I am inside of a tent.
I'm definitely not shoving it in.
I mean, you can try. I believe in you.
All right. What's
Yeah,
your?
I see a little. I feel like I see a little bit of muscle definition in those frail fairy arms.
Totally
Definitely not.
He lied.
What's your strength stat? 18 plus?
Fine.
We could do it.
And it's a 6, but like an actual pixie, it's a 1.
Mhm.
Dang. You like a buff pixie.
Yeah, well, 5e doesn't do
Technically, yeah.
doesn't do ability score penalties, so I didn't do them.
Mm.
Just wait for the next campaign. We'll be using a system that does, and you're gonna hate me for it.
Ooh. Does that mean that like Dex is gonna be higher?
I think they get like a +6 to Dex
Ooh.
in the 3.5, but they also take like a -6 or 8 to Strength and a minus to Con.
Mm.
Very easy to kill, very hard to hit, and you know, with no stat cap. Anyway, you're gonna pound that rope in. What's your strength, Solar?
My strength is a 17.
17, above 15, so it's not actually that hard. You don't need to make a check for it since
Yeah.
you don't have anything pressing on you. Pound it in. My brain just went dark.
Like the pit.
Yeah. Ugh.
He's getting into the
You can pound it in and loop up the rope. I think what I'm doing, my brain's doing is it's like, I'm waiting for the players to describe, and then you guys are waiting for me to describe, so we end up in these moments of silence.
Yeah. All right.
Just waiting.
Mm.
All right. I'll
I'm sorry.
go first, I guess.
Do you think it'd be big enough I could just fly down as a bird?
The rope snaps.
It might be. It's a 20-foot diameter, or yeah, diameter hole, so it's not small. The airflow is probably not great, but I've seen birds fly through small spaces. You probably could.
Oh,
But you're not going to have a lot of airflow to use for takeoff down there.
Like, the moment Imran's a little bit out of sight of everything, he's gonna goodness. He's gonna kind of bump out his wings in order to keep himself steady on the rope, also so he can kind of go down a little bit faster, kind of almost let himself go into fall.
Okay. Using that glide.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
What? No.
It's only about 40 feet, so it's not a... 40 feet is a long distance when you really compare it in heights, but you can fall like 200 feet within seconds. So it's not a long distance down.
Right.
When you reach to the bottom, you are hitborn. Did I give you dark vision? You probably do, because it's probably a
Yes.
tiefling
I
default.
have it right here because I wanted to see what the wings did again. Yeah, dark vision.
Okay. When you hit the bottom, I'm not gonna move map until I know other players are moving. So instead, you kind of hit the ground, and in the lightless environment, you can tell that the light above and the way the hole is formed, sunlight only gets down to the bottom like for maybe a few hours at a time, like maybe an hour a day. So that's only when the sun is at the highest. And with the current season being in the spring, since I tend to prefer to start my campaigns at the start of a year, the sun would be still closer. It wouldn't be above. Let's just say that. So you can't see the light cuts off. With their dark vision, though, you have a brief moment where you kind of get unsettled because when you land, you realize that the bottom is actually slightly sloped.
Ooh.
But because of the lack of color and dark vision's limited sense of perception, it's a little hard to notice that. So you do kind of, thankfully, wings and such allow you to kind of catch your footing. And it's kind of a larger space that looks kind of tunneled out toward one side, and a number of pathways veering off, about 3 of them. Nothing approaches you upon your landing.
All right. Can I? Am I able to use my just so when it's describing my projection attack and projection of barrier, it's all under project light.
Mm-hmm.
It says mastered the ability to project your inner light as a beam. Can I kind of just create a light in my hands using my prism ability, or do you think that'd be?
It'd be more like firing a blaster and using that for lighting.
Yeah. All right. Never mind then.
Because it's more of a projection.
I see.
Though I imagine
then-
you'd have access to some kind of light cantrip or something, maybe.
I could have, but I did not pick it up.
Sweet, torches are still useful.
I can use my halo on my head though. I think that's only 5 foot dim light around me though.
Hmm.
So I can make that visible, just not a lot of light.
Okay. Well, that's something you can do.
Well, oh, sorry, I didn't describe what I was I just wanted to see the ground.
Okay.
What the ground looks like at the bottom here.
So you light up your halo to see a little bit around you. What it is it seems like the ground where you are is loose soil, like it's been sifted or dropped, like a cave-in maybe or such. Just really large. It kind of spreads out, centering at the hole that you just came down through.
Alrighty, I'll just shout back up. Careful at the bottom, it's a little steep.
Right. The rest of you can hear him, but his voice kind of muddles along the way, being absorbed by the walls in the distance.
Gee.
It's not a flat surface. The dirt absorbs a lot of sound.
I go down the rope.
All right. Okay. So Toaster starts going down.
Whee! Cannonball! Just kidding.
Ah! It takes Toaster a little bit longer since he has to manually kind of work his way down. And as you kind of get to the bottom, thanks to the light from Imran's halo, you notice that the ground is actually uneven at the bottom and can land with appropriate grace.
So I have a question.
Yes.
My hair does glow. Like, part of the thing is it glows. How much light does that actually produce?
I would say probably no more than the halo, and that is
Okay.
both in your favor and against your favor, since it means you'll be mostly indetectable in the dark. You won't be treated as though you're carrying a torch around, but it also means you can't use it as an efficient light source unless you control flame to make it brighter or something.
Thank you.
Can someone make some better light, please? I can't see well. It's scary.
The thing people say when they go down things.
Wait, did you say what did you say?
The thing people say when they go down things, and he's gonna start going down.
Can I cast a cantrip, produce flame?
You can.
Just shoot
Anything
flames
that
at
you
Solder.
can, that is listed on your character sheet, you can do. You just tell me and describe to me what your character's actions are, and
Awesome. Well, then I'm going to snap my fingers and the little flame will appear in my hand.
all right. Tell me how much light that gives off.
It says it gives the flame sheds bright light in a 10-foot radius and dim light for an additional 10.
Okay, 10.
So
All right,
20
so it's a bit
total.
brighter down there now. There's a little flame lighting up the area down there. I'm going to shift the map over to being on that map. I do have a map for this place because there's a majority players there now. And I'll.
Where is this map?
I
Where is
have
this
not
map?
opened it up to players yet. Give me a bit.
See, the thing is, we can't see it yet because it's so
Oh, no.
dark down there.
Lily got left behind.
Oh, Lily. Steph, stop moving your token so I can, because I can't do anything to your token while you're moving it.
I was just.
That's just dodging the hand of God.
All right. So you're giving off
Can't touch me.
light. All right. I'm assuming it should be basically dark in there.
Where? Dark and where?
One moment.
I can't see where I am. Oh, there.
Or are you seeing detail?
I am seeing underground. 60, 70. Okay, I'm there.
It's underground in quotes, though.
Ah! But I have dark vision.
You're right. Give me one moment. Working it out.
No.
Oh, that was Fog of War, which isn't what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is Vision, which is set to night, which means you shouldn't be able to. Can you see in detail the map around you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
See everything. The dark is
Here's what I'll do.
gone.
I'll do Fog of War,
Ah,
and then I'll just reveal some of the Fog of War area.
Hmm.
And then I'm gonna apply some vision to your tokens because you've got a greater reach of vision right now. Okay, so you have a light source,
and I am a light source.
which is 20 feet technically. Can you? Nope, it's not setting it so you can see out to that range though. Is it? Can you see the other tokens, Toaster?
I see.
I can.
You can? Oh, that's because if you select your token, can you see them?
If what?
If you select your token, can you see the other players?
No, not anymore. So
Okay.
Oh, I can't either. Weird. But when I don't select it, I can see everyone.
Yeah, that's a weird thing going on. Wanted to pose. That's not working. All right, you know what? I like to play with lighting, but this program, I'm gonna have to do more practice with it. So here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna flip that off, and we're gonna just do fog. Like that. Okay. The red is Toaster's light. That's a full light, so dim range and bright range. So what I'm gonna do is I'm also going to put that on. So there we go. Now we can see bright and dim. For the rest of you, you have 60-foot dark vision.
Except for Riku.
Except Floriku. I don't think
Lily
Solar
might not
does.
either.
Huh?
Does Lily?
Yeah, I have dark vision.
She's a
Oh,
demon.
okay. Right.
Well,
Solar's a
Both me and Imran are
freaking.
tieflings.
Right. You both have dark vision then.
so
Had enough of
oh,
chicken.
that's
Good stuff though.
the yellow is supposed to be the dark vision range, but that's excessive.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
It's so amazing.
I'm trying to figure out how I can do this. Because this place works on, you know, being able to see things and not being able to see things. But I think I'm gonna have to just clear.
you could just see everything.
Yeah,
Just
I'm not the biggest on that, but it's looking to be the best approach right now.
Oh, some of them are not set to seeing dark vision. That might be part of it.
Let me see.
Another configuration.
Or if I go like, oh, that's nothing.
Has sight.
Normal, and then you can click dark vision.
Right. Has sight. Dark vision. And Toaster, I believe Genasi also have dark vision.
Yep.
Okay. Now, if I set the map Vision Night, reveal fog of war only at the start and end points. That seems. I'm sorry.
I'm
Thought
gonna put
I.
a generic light source on toaster.
Huh?
I set toaster to have a generic light source of 20 feet.
Okay. Well, let's see what that does to him. Put the field. Okay. So when you hover over your token, you're going to see white lines.
Right.
That's telling you how far your character can see.
Neat.
So those of you with dark vision, you'll notice that it actually only highlights the area of the light source on toaster. By the way, thank you, Seth.
You're welcome.
It seems you've somewhat gotten it to work for me. I appreciate that. You can, and with the light, you can actually see something kind of strange here at the base. So this area, I'm gonna highlight it just a little bit more with this transparent line. I'm gonna put it on the token layer.
Is the leg from last time still down here?
It is.
Okay.
So I'm gonna highlight here with this line is, oh, it's more like here, is
For
the
those who weren't
bottom
here
of the
last time,
pile.
that's okay.
Sorry, what? Two of you spoke at the same time.
Sorry.
I was just saying, you see that slightly darkened line here?
Yeah.
That's the bottom of the pile, so it slopes down from there.
Okay. And what did you say, Toaster?
I was just saying, for those who weren't here, I dropped the leg down the hole last time.
Yes, you did. I wonder.
Whose leg did you drop?
It was a bug leg.
All right.
Yeah, because I went all creepy murderness and decided to take off all the legs of the insects. Purely precautionary, you know, because we've seen dead ones come back to life.
Or
Yeah, but
heard. You
what
actually
if-
didn't see them.
What if the limbs, reanimate them like with the rest of it?
Yeah, well, on the other hand, I mean, it seemed like only the body was moving on the one that had no head. So I can only assume that, cutting off the legs at least makes the body not able to move.
Fingers crossed.
Also, I believe I took off its like mandible, like pincer things too.
Maybe like its brain isn't in its head, so it's just like, if it loses an arm, it can keep going. Maybe its head is just another appendage.
Maybe, I don't know. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed and hoping that it doesn't come back to life, and that my precautions were done well.
Yeah. You can
I
see
mean, you're
at the edge of your light, actually, there's a stone that's slightly different than the others. Most of this is just scree and pebble, random
I'm gonna
debris.
touch it.
But there's a stone here that seems to almost have cracks of energy in it, it almost appears.
I said I'm gonna touch it.
You would touch it.
I'm gonna touch it.
As you touch it, you feel a strange gnawing. Like an anger, almost, in your mind.
Not touching that anymore.
There are a collection of strange symbols engraved into its surface as well.
Maybe I should look at this a little bit closer. I'm gonna see if I can't recognize some of the symbols.
All right, you have to make me an Arcana check.
Oh, 16 plus. Get back to my. 16 plus 3, that's 19.
19.
I'm pretty good with the magics.
It seems to be a collection of strange magic glyphs to enact some kind of enchantment. And I use enchantment specifically. The magic seems to be of the enchantments of some kind of mood altering effect. Without something like detect magic or identify, though, it's no way to be certain. You're making a guess based off of its effects on you. But it does seem to just have kind of a emanating effect of it. It is a high roll, 19, right?
Yep.
So you do identify that the item, at the very least, is giving off some kind of magical aura of influence of sort. Something that actually, thinking about Imran being a prism, is actually a little bit more aware of. You can actually both notice its presence on your mind, but also distinguish that it is an outside influence, similar to how you would on someone else. Other people might not notice the difference.
I was just about to be like, hey, Imran, you want to come over here and check this out?
Sure. Something feels weird down here. Don't.
I know it's weird.
Alright.
It's a rock. And it doesn't feel like any other rock I've felt so far.
Do you have proficiency in Arcana, Steph?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Since you do actually have some understanding, you can at least understand that it must be some kind of, I don't know where my brain was going there, so I'm sorry. Whatever important information I was going to provide you with, I can't remember to provide you with it. I'm sorry.
Typical.
Solar and Florica, you can just see them bobbing in and out of the dim light, prodding at some kind of stone at the edge of your vision.
I just take my quarterstaff and poke it. I'm poking it with a stick. Oh.
So, what exactly emotion or feeling is this trying to influence us with? I guess.
Do you have that ability that lets you feel
I
them,
think it's-
like read emotions yet?
I have read light, but that's for creature. I can attempt to read the emotion of creature within 60 feet of me.
Okay. The ability doesn't work on non-creatures, but you can sense its effect on others instead, vicariously. It seems to be imposing rage frenzy. Yeah, the rock feels angry. That is actually a very good description to that vibe. Because of the Arcana check. Oh, that was what I was gonna say. You know that it seems to be like the stone has been engraved with glyphs meant to project an effect on others, and that if those glyphs were interrupted, it would probably stop.
This seems to be doing something similar to what I do, just on a much more massive scale.
That's what I was trying to say. It's tuned to a different group. That's what I was trying. The glyphs tell you that it is not meant to be affecting you specifically, so it's not as powerful as it should be to you. That's what I was trying to. That's what I forgot.
So that might have been what was angering creatures.
That is a hypothesis. I will not confirm nor deny, though.
Do you
So-
think if we just like destroy the rock, it'll be taken care of, I guess.
I'm a little curious. So Josh, does it feel similar at all to the way the Doulahan's anger is in any way?
The source is different. The Doulahan's wrath, when you felt it, was a genuine sense of emotion of anger that was being projected through you because of your connection. This seems more like it's similar to what you do, but it seems a little bit more of an actual act of like the enchantment school of magic. It's meant to fool the mind. But there are similar principles. There is an aspect of it that is seemingly familiar to you of it.
So should we break it? Should we study it more? Should we...
I don't know how runes and magic really work. My stuff works in a little bit of a different way.
Let's see here. Is there any way for me to be able to, like, can I read the runes? I know I looked at them.
They are not written in a tongue you are familiar with.
Okay. Are you sure?
I am sure.
Not Abyssal, Druidic, Elvish, Sylvan. Actually, I can't.
You don't
read
have
Druidic.
Druidic.
It's still in my language list because I can't get rid of it.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be a guaranteed class feature.
Yeah, and I decided, no, I taught myself this magic. So. But I know Elvish, Sylvan, and Abyssal. So. But it's none of those.
None of those.
Hey, Toaster, I don't suppose you'd be able to figure out what this rock says?
I might be able to. Let me take a look.
I wish there was a linguistic
Everyone's,
skill in this
standing
system.
around a rock.
Standing around the angry rock.
This is actually legitimately the moment where I wish there was a specific linguistics skill in this system. Because that would be really useful for this check. Now I have to figure out what skill would probably cover this.
I'm going to assume the language isn't primordial, right?
It is not primordial.
Okay. And it's not common?
No.
You're like super duper sure it's not common?
Absolutely certain.
Could it be misconstrued as common with bad handwriting?
Where did they list the skills? In the player's handbook. Wow. I'm just realizing how
Druidic.
little the skills get touched. They don't even have their own section. You have to find it. I'm so used to looking at the Pathfinder book where there's an entire wedge for skills.
Would it be something I could recognize,
Ability
like
checks.
as a wizard? If I can speak it?
This would fall under a skill check.
Okay.
I feel like it should be an intelligence skill check.
It is
whatever
an
it
intelligence skill check. It's what skill? There's Arcana, History, Investigation, Nature, Religion. It would be under...
I were to say, like, I'd like to investigate the language.
Yeah, but investigation is more like determining the cause of wounds or why something is the way it is, looking for details of the why something happened.
It's magic, so it could just be Arcana.
That's what
Or
I'm
if you're
thinking, but
remembering
it
the
doesn't.
language it's kind of history.
That's exactly why I have a problem with 5e skills. A lot of them cover the same things. They're not specific. I would probably say, let me check something. I'm gonna go to the other rule book I like to use when I don't know what to do with something, which is just look at what they did with older systems.
I have a question. Are you trying to pick between Arcana and History?
I'm trying to pick between Arcana and Nature, or no, Religion.
Yeah. Well, both of those are a +3 for me, so
They're the same bonus?
yeah, it's the same bonus.
Okay. Well, I'll probably say it's a religion check then.
Okay.
Just because that makes things just a tiny bit easier for
And
me.
that's
in
a
this case.
D20, right?
Yep.
Okay. 16.
16. Okay. You don't know the language, but you've heard of a language used in the act of creating magic, one that is forbidden for non-practitioners to use. You believe this may be a variable of a Sylvain tongue known as Druidic.
I hug the rock.
So is it druidic?
He believes it is Druidic.
Lily,
goodness,
don't-
Druidic.
You don't have anybody who can confirm, and Druidic is a very rare language, so there's no guarantee on that regard.
Forka knows druidic.
You know Druidic, right? You're a druid.
Let's go.
Okay, well, Floriku doesn't have to make a check. Floriku can recognize the marks as Druidic writings meant for writing or creating magical glyphs.
That's hilarious.
Yay.
We're all like,
Well,
look at this.
All
dude."
this,
Flork is
all
like,
this run around, and
Lily, please
should have remembered
don't
that you
hug
were
the
a druid.
angry rock. We don't know if it'll kill you or not.
But it said it needs friends.
"Did it?"
Is it talking to you?
I think so, but granted, it sounded a lot like Solar's voice.
What? No.
So what info can you give me about what the ruins say on the rock? Is it just
sadly, being able to read runes doesn't necessarily mean that they have meaning.
Hmm.
A lot of languages simply use their letters as a way of focusing the energy, but don't actually carry meaning in their written form when using magic with them.
okay?
The Druidic writing, the closest thing you could get of meaning would be a mark indicating fury or wrath, something that you've already kind of identified. Would be, this seems to be projecting an aura of anger.
Well, I can read it, but it doesn't really mean anything. It just means anger, and we already know that.
So what language is it again?
I'm not sure if I can tell you.
It's the language of the Druids.
It's a secret.
All right.
There's a secret language.
Technically, you can share that you know Druid, but you can't teach people how to read it or write it.
Yeah.
That's gonna be.
If there's a concern about that. Well, people who aren't also Druids, that's kind of the stipulation to it.
And how would
So,
me? Because I'm a druid, but I don't know
What?
druid.
all right. Let's back up from the angry rock. And then make it not angry, I guess?
But it just needs a hug.
I don't
Well, I need a hug.
I really don't think there's any life in that rock.
It didn't like me very much. Fuller, maybe you should try hugging it.
If we had a spell that removes the magic, then it would work.
Oh shoot, I was supposed to have something here. So I just realized there's a piece of scenery that wasn't here that was supposed to really kind of give away something was going on,
Person.
and I forgot to put it on the map. So give me a moment to populate the map with this specific thing.
Go to the rocks, Solar.
Sorry.
No, I don't
So
like
dumb
it.
of me to have forgotten to do this.
Come on, Solar.
No, hold on.
Solar just given it'll be easier.
Okay. Fine then here.
Solar's eyes just like turn bright yellow.
Is that to ascend?
Wait, Solar goes to touch it.
No, I'm gonna.
No,
going to
well,
touch.
Solar touches it.
Touch the rock, Solar.
Solar,
Touch the
you feel a
rock.
slight sense of anger in the back of your mind. And then you feel something quiver in your skin.
I don't like this rock.
The muscles of your tenant tensen.
Okay, step away from the
Solar.
step away. I'm gonna step away from the rock.
Okay.
That's enough hugging for you.
But we were almost friends.
I'm sorry, I'm having too much fun with this.
Alright, where?
Well, maybe Toaster should hug the rock.
I'm gonna say no. Just
Aw.
because. Partly because there's something I need to talk to Josh about, because I can't remember if I've already asked you.
Do I touch rocks? Do I explode?
I just need a specific asset, and it's. Oh no.
Like everyone's like, back away from the rock, and I'm like, hug the rock.
So, attempting to use the search bar to find this visual asset has actually caused my program to lock up. Because I forgot to narrow the search area, so it is searching all of my assets. All something thousand of them.
Oh my gosh.
Did it find it?
It looks like the program's still running, but this window of it is not moving. Which is almost funny because I can actually just find the asset in my actual folders and could just drag it in. If I could find it, that is. It would be... Is it under the map making? No, it's not under combat. It's just one item. Oh, there we go. That's gonna, yep. Bop, bop. Yeah, it would be, let's just, oh, that suggests too much. Let's just use this one. Come on, program. Well, if it locks up for too long, I might just call for a bathroom break so that I can use the bathroom and let it load. Oh no. Yeah. I might call for, yeah, let's call this a bathroom break while we let my computer try to figure itself out. And if it doesn't, I might have to shut down the server and start back up, but it shouldn't take too long to do that.
So
All right.
good.
I'll be back. We'll give it like, well, by 7:55, I will definitely be back. Hopefully sooner than that.
So, who else wants to touch the rock?
Me. I already had my turn.
No touching angry rock for me.
It hurts. It hurts to touch.
How about you, Emerin? You want to touch the rock? Emerin? Emerin?
Because he must have been lost to the world.
I guess he's in one of those weird trances he does. Okay. I am creating.
I'm tempted to touch the rock again just because it hurt.
Ooh. You touch the rock.
No, I
No.
actually.
Now you have become the rock. Rockman.
Wayne the Rock
Look
Johnson.
at you, ice.
and then his voice
Hmm.
gets all like creepy and is like, "Oh, I will become the Rock. Nothing can defeat me. I am the greatest rock ever.
I'm going to be a rock star.
Nothing can defeat my power.